My beloved child, this is no longer the time for hesitation. There is a movement stirring in the spiritual realm, and it is now flowing down into the earthly plane. I have seen the disorder, the threads of deceit being woven in the dark, and I say to you, rise up now, before things spiral beyond control. There are plans conceived through human cunning, yet they cannot escape my gaze, for I am the one who searches the thoughts and intentions of every heart. Some are setting traps, not because they are stronger than you, but because they fear the light within you. They tremble before the blessing I have placed upon you, and so they strive to tarnish your image. But do not fear, for I have seen it all from the beginning. There is no scheme conceived in darkness that will not be exposed by my light. Do you not see, my child? What is happening around you is no coincidence. A message sent at an odd hour, a call cut off mid-sentence, a glance that seems accidental, all these are signs, revealing that the true battle is not outside of you, but within your spirit. The enemy seeks to confuse you, to make you doubt yourself, to rob you of the peace I have given. But I tell you this, keep your spirit anchored in stillness, for stillness is heaven's strategy. When you pause and pray, the armies of heaven begin to move. When you remain silent in faith, the roar of hell is cut off. Understand this, my child. This is no longer a time for half-hearted faith. I am dividing light from darkness, truth from falsehood, purity from corruption. All that is hidden will be brought to light, and in this storm I will reveal who truly belongs to me and who only uses my name for their own gain. There are those who once called upon my name, who once stood close to you, but their hearts have drifted far away. They smile outwardly, yet poison lingers within their hearts. They speak of peace, yet secretly sow division. Do not let smooth words blind you. Look with the eyes of your spirit, for the eyes of flesh see only the surface, but I, the one who speaks to you, see the depths of every soul. You are entering a season in which every decision carries eternal weight. A single wrong choice can lead you off the path I have prepared. Therefore, stop, breathe, and ask me before you react. I do not want you to act out of fear. I want you to act out of faith. You need not strain to fight back. Simply stand firm in me, and I will fight for you. Remember, it is not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit that you will overcome. My child, I know that some of those you once trusted are changing. Some pretend to care, but are only probing. Others seem to protect you, yet are quietly arranging your fall. But do not grow bitter, for through this I am teaching you discernment. You must learn who is genuine and who is drawn only by their own gain. Do not fear when certain people drift out of your life. This is the sign that I am cleansing your circle. You cannot step into the new, while still clinging to the old ties that bind you. Listen carefully, my child. This is not the time to sleep in false safety. The enemy does not strike when you are weak, but when you are complacent. He knows the moment you stop praying, when you begin to think you are strong enough, when you cease to listen to my voice. That is when you are most vulnerable. Therefore, I say to you, stay awake. Do not be led by fear, but do not ignore the signs I send either. Every strange occurrence around you, a stirring in your spirit, a subtle warning, a fleeting dream, is my voice trying to draw you back. My child, I am not speaking to you as one in danger, but as a warrior about to be promoted. Every battle has a purpose. These schemes have not come to destroy you, but to refine you. I am using the very arrows they shoot to forge for you a new sword. You will learn to stand, not out of fear, but because you know I am standing behind you. I am not only your protector, I am your commander. And when I rise, no power can pretend that I have not seen. There are those writing your name on paper, but I am engraving your name upon the palm of my hand. There are those using their tongues to lie against you, but I will use their own mouths to bear witness to the truth. Every plan raised against you will collapse before my throne. For I am the Lord your God, the one who turns the plots of the wicked into testimonies of justice. Do not let your heart grow heavy over what you cannot control. Remember, this battle is not of flesh and blood, but of the Spirit. Every time you pray, you are not merely speaking, you are commanding the hosts of heaven to move. Every tear you shed in silence is a cry that calls forth my power to intervene. And I, the one who never sleeps, am listening. You ask, Lord, why did you let this happen? I answer, because I am teaching you that true strength does not come from status, nor from people, but from me. If I do not permit it, nothing can touch you. You belong to me, sealed in the blood of the Lamb, and no hand can erase that mark. But my child, I also warn you, be careful with what you say, with whom you share, and how you react. The enemy is listening to every word, watching every move, waiting for an opening. Do not grant it power you are unaware of. Let your mouth speak wisdom, and let your heart be filled with humility. When you speak less, I will speak for you. When you stay in peace, I will fight for you. When you believe, I will act. My beloved child, I know you are weary. I know there are nights when you wonder how much longer you can endure. But lift your eyes, for it is in the darkness that my light shines the brightest. Nothing that is happening is beyond my reach. I am allowing this to strip away what no longer serves you: dependence, pride, fear of being misunderstood, so that you may become a purer vessel for my kingdom. I say to you, soon, everything will be overturned. Truth will rise from where it was, buried, and the tongues that once lied will fall silent. I will turn the board in a single breath, and you will see that what the enemy meant for harm has become the very proof of my righteousness. You need only to stand firm. I will do the rest. When you see others fall into traps, do not despise them, for only my grace keeps you from falling. Intercede for them, for your forgiveness will open the door to greater blessings. Do not let hatred poison your heart. Let me be the judge. I am righteous, and my justice never delays. My child, remember, nothing happens outside of my plan. Every event, no matter how dark, is contributing to the fulfillment of my promise to you. If you keep your heart pure, you will see miracles unfold in ways you could never imagine. I will lift you from the ashes, and the world will know that I am your God. Now I command you, rise in silence. Keep the lamp of faith burning, for dawn is near. This storm did not come to drown you, but to cleanse you. When it passes, you will not be the same. You will be stronger, deeper, closer to me. Every tear you shed today will water the garden of tomorrow's blessings. And you will tell this story not with fear, but with pride, knowing you have witnessed the power of God at work. I am with you. I have not abandoned you in this darkness. When the enemy thinks you are isolated, in truth, I am wrapping you in my arms. Do not look at the storm, look at me. Do not count those against you. Remember that if I am for you, you have already conquered multitudes. Be steadfast, my child, for now judgment has begun, and light shall overcome darkness. What they plan will not succeed. Your name will be vindicated, and every lie will be consumed by truth itself. You will not be shamed, for I am the one who restores honor to those who remain faithful. My beloved, you are standing in the midst of a battle without swords or spears, yet one that can destroy the soul. It is not a battle of flesh, but of emotion and perception. The enemy has not come to make you bleed, but to make your heart waver, to lure you into reacting by instinct and losing the peace I have planted within you. Understand this deeply, my beloved. Sometimes reaction is a trap, and silence is a weapon. But I know you are in a bewildering situation. Words are being twisted, good deeds distorted, and your silence, the very sign of your calmness and trust, is being turned into a weapon against you. Some interpret your stillness with labels they invent. Some deliberately portray your retreat as guilt, and some, deep inside, take pleasure in watching you suffer in quiet. But do not fear, for I have seen it all. Every false word, every deceitful smile, every scrutinizing gaze is recorded before me. You are being tested not to humiliate, but to elevate. I am using this moment to teach you a lesson only strong souls can learn. When you can remain at peace in the midst of the storm, you have already won without fighting. The enemy seeks to draw you out of the light where I stand, into the realm of reaction where they have control. They know your weak spots, what can unsettle you, when your eyes shift or your voice trembles, and in that instant, they capture it within the minds of those watching. One small reaction, one careless word, and they will have what they need to craft their false story about you. But my child, I tell you this, do not give them that satisfaction. Hold your silence as a shield, not the silence of weakness, but the silence of power. For when you remain silent in faith, I will speak for you in the realm of the Spirit. When you choose not to react, I will act. And when you endure in the light, I will cause the darkness to expose itself. I know this is difficult. I know you feel misunderstood, surrounded by stories that do not belong to you. I know you want to cry out to defend your honor. But remember this, your true honor is not found in the mouths of men, but in my hands. What you silently endure today will become the evidence of your righteousness tomorrow. When I move, no one can dispute it. When I vindicate you, every false accusation will turn to dust. My child, do not underestimate the strength of stillness. Your silence is confusing those who slander you. They expect you to lash out, to react, to fall into rage, so they can point and say, "See, that's who they really are." But when you do not respond, they lose control. Your stillness forces them to face themselves, and little by little, the weight of their guilt will grow heavy, and even a hardened conscience will begin to crack. My child, understand this. The enemy is not only after your reputation, but also your inner peace. They know that if you lose your peace, you lose your connection with me. So guard your peace as you would your very breath. Each time you want to react, take a deep breath and remember that I stand between you and the storm. Let me handle it. Trust that I am working in the peace, shadows, in places you cannot see. I have spoken. Be silent before me, all flesh. For when you stand still in me, your silence becomes thunder in the spirit realm. The angels understand that language, and they will act. You do not need to prove anything. I will prove it for you. You do not need to defend yourself. I will vindicate you. You do not need to fight back. I will fight for you. I have seen those who deliberately provoke you, souls who know exactly how to wound you. They smile outwardly while plotting within. They pretend to care, but they are counting the moments until you stumble. They do not strike with their hands, but with emotions. They do not pierce with swords, but with words. They want to throw you off balance because they know when you lose your calm, you lose your covering. But I say to you, do not fall into the trap of emotion. You have nothing to prove. Just stand in the light, and the light will expose every shadow around you. My child, do not forget that. Every time you choose forgiveness over retaliation, you are burning the schemes of hell. Every time you smile amid slander, you are rewriting the story with my hand. Every time you choose silence, you are allowing heaven to speak on your behalf. And it is in those moments, though painful, that you are being shaped into a stronger vessel for my kingdom. You are learning to be a representative of light in a world drowning in darkness. Remember, light does not need to shout to prove its existence. It simply shines. You do not need to defend yourself. Simply let the light within you radiate, and every lie will burn away on its own. I want you to remember this. Silence is not defeat. It is the action of one who sees beyond. When you are silent, you are not being passive. You are making room for me to act. When you stop speaking, You are not weak, you are listening to me, and when you do not respond, you are not being ignored, you are being protected by me. I have seen the walls closing in around you, but I have also seen the light streaming through the smallest cracks. They think they have isolated you, but in truth, they are helping me bring you into a sacred place, a place where only you and I dwell. There, I will heal you, teach you, and rebuild the strength within you. Believe, my child, that none of your silence is wasted. Every moment you choose not to retaliate, every tear you hold back to pray instead, becomes a stone in the foundation of my kingdom within your heart. The more you preserve your peace, the more my power will manifest clearly. My child, I know you are weary. I know there are times this silence feels like punishment. But know, my beloved, it is training. I am teaching you to master your emotions so that you may master your destiny. I am training you not to be shaken by the noise of the world so that you may hear only one voice, mine. And once you can hear me clearly, no scheme, no whisper, no darkness will ever be able to lead you astray. Do not be afraid when you find yourself misunderstood. The prophets of old were misunderstood too. Even my only son was accused, mocked, and condemned, yet he remained silent. In that silence, heaven trembled, and hell was defeated. That silence was not weakness. It was the pure strength of love and perfect trust. I want you to learn this lesson, for you are walking the same path. One day, when all things are brought to light, you will look back and understand that every moment you kept your peace was a moment when I was fighting for you. The enemy will be confused by your lack of reaction, for they cannot comprehend that your stillness is not passivity but hidden power. And you will see that every person who once fabricated stories about you will be exposed by the light. You will not need to speak. Truth will reveal itself. You will not need to defend yourself. My justice will be made manifest. And on that day, you will harbor no resentment, only gratitude for, through those who wronged you, you learned how to hold fast to my peace. My child, let every insult fall away like raindrops upon stone. Let them roll off, for nothing can defile the soul I have purified. When you keep your heart pure, I will protect you. When you choose silence, I will speak for you. When you stand firm, I will shine through you. Now I tell you, let your silence become your song of victory. Let your kindness be the proof of true strength. Let your love rise above the storm of misunderstanding, for that is the very thing that makes hell tremble. And when all is over, you will realize the enemy never defeated you, for you never fought with your own strength, but with mine, the one who lives within you. At this moment, it is not your freedom they seek to steal, it is your peace. For they know well that once your soul is disturbed, your clarity fades, and when peace is lost, you can no longer hear my voice. They do not need to bind your hands. They only need to shake your heart. They do not need to silence your mouth. They only need to make you speak words you will later regret. They are setting a trap not made of iron, but of words, not of power, but of emotion. And the only thing they are waiting for is your reaction. I tell you, be cautious, for emotional traps are the most dangerous of all. They do not come with roars, but with false smiles. They do not appear threatening, but wear the mask of concern. Some will seem to come to help you, but in truth, they come to watch you fall. Some will pretend to stand by you while secretly waiting for the moment you lose your composure. They long to see you explode, for a single careless word is all they need to twist the truth. They gather fragments of your vulnerability to craft a story that is not yours, a distorted tale woven with deceit and pride. But my beloved child, remember this. I am the Lord your God, who sees every human plan before it takes shape. There is no scheme in the dark that escapes my sight. No word is spoken that I do not hear. When they conspire in secret rooms, I am there. When they write falsehoods, I have read every line. And when they laugh, thinking they have won, I have already appointed the hour of their downfall. My child, they do not understand that it is your peace that terrifies them. They mistake your silence for weakness, unaware that within your silence dwells my presence. You do not need to shout to prove you are right. You only need to stand still in my light, and that very light will expose every shadow around you. While they are busy twisting your story, I am writing the true one in the realm of the Spirit, and in the appointed time, that story will resound louder than any lie ever spoken. Do not panic, my child, for I am watching everything. I dwell above, and I see clearly who is playing the victim and who is hiding a blade behind their back. I see those who smile deceitfully and those who quietly pray for you. I see even the whispers that seem harmless but carry poison within them. Do not react, for every time you try to justify yourself, you are unknowingly stepping onto their stage, a stage where the script has already been written. I do not want you to perform in that play. I want you to stand apart as a witness to the truth. They think they are directing the story, but I am the author of history. They think they are writing your ending, but I am writing the opening chapter of your victory. Time is moving, but it does not stand on their side. They live under the illusion that they control the outcome, but the clock of heavenly justice has already begun to count down. When the appointed hour comes, every lie will be swallowed by their own lips, and their very hands will dismantle the trap they once built. You will not need to do anything. I will let arrogance destroy itself. For pride is a double-edged sword. It makes the deceiver believe they are wise, but that very pride will lead them into fatal error. They will expose their true nature through their own words and actions. They will slip when trying to hide evidence. They will speak too much while trying to conceal their guilt. And in that moment, you need only stand still, for I will do the rest. I know you have wept through long nights, wondering why those you once trusted turned away. You have questioned why goodness was twisted, why silence was mistaken for guilt. But my child, do not let your heart close in bitterness. They cannot touch your soul, for your soul belongs to me. You do not need to justify yourself before men. Let me justify you before all of heaven and earth. My beloved, never forget, your peace is heaven's strategy. While they lose sleep over their schemes, rest peacefully in my embrace. While they use their words as blades, wear your silence as armor. While they chase after false justice, trust in my eternal justice. For when I rise, none can stand. I have ordained that one day, every falsehood built to disgrace, you will become evidence that glorifies my name. They meant to shame you, but they will bow their heads in humiliation. They thought they were digging a pit for you, but I am turning that pit into the grave of their schemes. Every word they speak against you will become the sentence that condemns them. Every step they take to harm you will lead them further from the light. I do not need you to fight with human strength, for this battle is not of the flesh, it belongs to me. And I have never lost. You need only keep your heart steady. Let my peace be your fortress. Keep your mind pure, for when you remain calm in the midst of chaos, that very calmness defeats the darkness. My child, you may think time is moving slowly, but in truth, it is working in your favor. Each passing moment brings you closer to revelation. They do not realize they are counting down their own downfall. Every false word they speak, every arrogant act they commit, is another tick on the clock of divine justice. And when the hand strikes the final mark, every stage and every mask will collapse. I will do it quietly, but completely. None will be able to resist. Remember this, your silence is not defeat, it is preparation for glory. Like a seed lying still in the soil, it seems dead but is waiting for the season to sprout. Your silence today is the stillness before the triumphant song. Do not fear the darkness, it is only the backdrop for the brilliance to come. Do not fear isolation, It is how I separate you from the noise so you can hear my voice clearly. I know you are weary, but remember this: I have not abandoned you in this battle. Everything that happens is under my control. No accusation can stand when I declare innocent. No door can remain locked when I say open, and no snare can hold you when I arrive. My child, be steadfast. The trap they set was never about your weakness, it was about their fear of the light within you. It is that very light that makes them uneasy. It is because of the grace you carry that they seek to defame you. It is because you stand as a witness to truth that they wish to silence you. But know this: true light cannot be extinguished. It only shines brighter when tested. Soon, I will do something that will leave many astonished. Tongues that once spoke deceit will be forced to swallow their own words. Those who once despised you will bow their heads in apology, and those who once turned away will return to testify that I am the Lord of justice. When that moment comes, you will not desire glory for yourself, for you will know it was all so that my name might be exalted. Therefore, my beloved child, do not tremble. Do not rush to speak or to defend yourself. Let me speak through time. Let me unveil what has been hidden. Let me vindicate you in a way that no one can deny. You do not need to argue. I will make your accusers confess the truth with their own lips. You do not need to retaliate. I will cause their own hands to dismantle the schemes they built. Be still, my child, for my hour is near. Guard your peace as you would guard your breath, for peace is the key that unlocks victory. When the world believes you have been defeated, I will raise you up. When people think your silence comes from fear, I will show them that your silence is born of trust. And when everything is revealed, they will understand that your silence was the roar of faith, and your calmness was heaven's triumph. My dear one, I know what you have endured has not been easy. There are those who once saw the light in you, yet instead of rejoicing, they trembled. They did not fear you, they feared what the light revealed within themselves, the truth. For light always exposes what darkness tries to conceal. They saw in you a strength they could not control, a faith they could not shake. So they plotted and schemed, weaving a net of rumors, deceit, and their own fear. They built a cage, wrote your name upon it, thinking you would walk in out of kindness, out of trust, out of a heart too pure to suspect. But they were wrong, for you were never meant for cages. You belong to the sky, where only those chosen can soar. They believed they could bind you through silence, that if they made the world misunderstand you, you would crumble in shame. But, my child, do you not know the heavens have been watching your every step? Every word they speak, every act they perform, is recorded in the scroll of truth. Nothing can be hidden beneath my light. The lies they scatter like dust will soon dissolve, leaving behind an air so clear that only the honest can breathe it. And you need not justify yourself. Truth is your most loyal companion. It will speak for you, louder and stronger than any words you could ever utter. You think you've been cast into a play of humiliation, but in truth, you are stepping onto a stage built by heaven itself. That light shining upon you is not the glare of earthly fame, but the radiance of divine justice. Every detail of this story is purposeful, nothing happens by chance. The one who plotted will fall into their own trap, for I am the one who makes all deceit come to light. As Micah 7:8 says, "Though I fall, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." Remember this, my child, for when darkness believes it has won, that is the very moment light is preparing to break forth. Something great is drawing near. I am moving in the deepest part of your story, where your eyes cannot yet see, but your soul can already feel. Every false word, every doubtful glance, every wound that seemed meaningless, they are all threads in a grand tapestry of glory you have not yet seen in full. Let me tell you plainly, The true miracle is not when your enemies fall, but when you stand firm without losing love. When others plot to harm you, and you still choose to keep your heart pure, that is when you triumph by my power. For true justice needs no noise, it comes gently, like the dawn. Yet once it arrives, nothing can stop it. Those who tried to bind you will be ensnared by their own cords. I have spoken, and I will do it. For I do not let prideful hearts prevail forever. I do not allow falsehood to thrive on the ground where I have planted the seeds of truth. When the appointed time comes, everything will be revealed, not through wrath, but through light. Light does not destroy, it simply reveals. And in that revelation, you will see that you were never defeated, never abandoned. You were being prepared to shine brighter than ever before. My child, you were not born to be a victim of schemes, but to become living proof of redemptive power. It is when you are falsely accused that you learn the patience of the chosen. It is when you are betrayed that you begin to understand my unchanging love. It is when every door seems to close that you realize one door from heaven is enough, and I am opening that door for you, quietly but surely. What is coming is not your downfall, but the birth of a new age within your soul. The truth that is about to be revealed is not meant to shame the guilty, but to honor the one who remained faithful. When people witness what I am about to do, they will understand that no one can stand against the will of God. Every lie will collapse on its own, and you will not need to utter a single word. When the dust clears, only light will remain upon your face, the kind of light that cannot be extinguished, for it was lit by my very hand. Keep your heart in peace, my child. Do not let anger or the thirst for revenge cloud your spirit. My justice is never early or late. It arrives precisely when your heart is ready to receive it as a blessing, not as bitterness. For if you wish to taste the glory of truth, you must learn to love even while being misunderstood. That is the strength of those who belong to me. Prepare yourself, for the wind is changing direction. What seemed like endings are only beginnings of a new chapter. When truth comes to light, you will no longer look back at the past with pain, but with gratitude. You will understand that without those long nights, you would never have seen such a radiant dawn. Without betrayal, you would not know the meaning of loyalty. Without loneliness, you would never have realized so deeply that I was always near. Therefore, do not tremble when the world grows noisy. Do not let venomous words touch your soul. Stand tall and lift your head high, for you are within heaven's plan. Everything that happens has purpose to refine your faith, to purify your heart, and to prepare you for the glory that awaits. When you have overcome, you will not only be delivered, but also elevated, so that the light within you may shine for those still imprisoned by lies and fear. Remember, my child, this battle is not between you and them. It is between light and darkness, and light always wins. You need not argue or prove yourself. Simply walk in peace, for I am working on your behalf. Do not forget that what you face now is not punishment, but preparation. When all is revealed, you will understand. I never let you fall. I was teaching you how to fly. A turning point is near. When the curtain falls, the world will see clearly who was false and who was true. You will not need to reclaim your honor. I will do it for you in a way no one expects. Your silence will echo louder than any defense, and the peace within you will stand as a witness to the world that there is one greater than all schemes, holding dominion over everything. Therefore, stand firm. Do not live merely to justify yourself, but to bear witness to my righteousness. Do not seek to win in the eyes of men, but to triumph in my heart. When you remain faithful, I will handle the rest. I will make the world marvel at how I turn all things around. I will place you in a position that no hand can bring down, and when that moment comes, you will realize it was the accusations and the dark days that became the very launch pad, drawing you closer to heaven, than ever before. My beloved child, those who once thought they could make you bow now tremble at the sound of truth itself. They once believed your silence meant defeat, but they did not know that within that silence, a great strength was being formed, the strength of faith, patience, and the light that grows in hidden places. They thought they were writing the final chapter of your story, but they never realized that heaven was the one holding the pen. And now, as their stage collapses, the light will not only shine upon you, it will pass through them, exposing all that they tried to conceal in the darkness. The heavens have quietly shifted everything into place. The malicious words they once spoke like sharpened blades are now turning back to cut their own hands. They wanted to see you stumble, but now it is they who are staggering upon the trembling ground of deceit. The stage they built to disgrace you is collapsing piece by piece, and the audience, those once confused between truth and illusion, are beginning to see what is real light and what is only a hollow reflection. Micah 7:10 says, "Then my enemy will see, and shame will cover her who said to me, 'Where is the Lord your God?'" Yes, my child, this very moment, those words are being fulfilled. You do not need to defend yourself. You only need to stand still. Your composure is the loudest voice of all. True light does not need to shout to be recognized. It only needs to appear, and the darkness dissolves on its own. You are the living proof of this truth. They thought you were a target to be brought down, but in truth, you were chosen to be a mirror reflecting the power of God. This story was never written to end in your humiliation. It was meant to unveil the nature of hearts ruled by ambition and fear. And when light exposes deceit, truth not only sets you free, it redeems. Even those who once harmed you, if they turn back in repentance. Do not be surprised, my child, when everything seems to turn upside down. That is how heaven works silently, yet with precision down to every breath. While others struggle in the nets they wove for themselves, you must keep peace within your heart. Your stillness is not weakness, it is faith in the justice of the one who created heaven and earth. They plotted to bring you down, but I have turned their schemes into the very means by which you are lifted up. They set traps to destroy, but I have transformed those traps into stepping stones toward your glory. You thought you were being cast into the abyss, but that was when I taught you how to grow wings. What is coming will show you that nothing happens without purpose. Every tear, every wound, every whisper of slander, all of it has been the material I used to craft your victory. The snare they set has fallen apart, not because you fought back, but because light has flooded the place. Light does not argue, it simply exists. And when light exists, darkness finds nowhere to hide. Look, my child, the ones who once smiled falsely before you now avert their eyes from their own reflection. They are hearing the knock of conscience at their door, and that is the beginning of divine justice. You are the living evidence that no one can hinder a soul chosen by God. They may build walls, but I will send winds to bring them down. They may bury you in the ground, but I will cause you to sprout. They may try to extinguish your flame, but they cannot stop the dawn. For I have placed within you a fire that cannot be quenched, the fire of faith. When people see you still standing, they will realize it was not you who held yourself up, but I who held you. O steadfast soul, know this. Everything unfolding is not merely to vindicate you, but to reveal to the world that my power never fails. I did not allow you to be wronged only to abandon you in the dark. I allowed it so that all might see light shines brightest when the night is deepest. When they said your story was over, that was when the real story began. When they tried to erase your name, I wrote it across the heavens in light. This story belongs to you, for it is written in tears, in faith, and in love that refuses to die even when wounded. You are not a character in their tragedy, you are the narrator who turns it into triumph. Every rumor, every pain, every lonely night, all are becoming golden lines in the symphony I am composing. Every note in that melody declares one truth: No one can defeat a soul that keeps its eyes lifted toward heaven. Out there, something vast awaits you, not a reward of material things, but a mission. I did not let you walk through fire just to survive. I let you walk through it to learn how to shine. You were not freed just to rest, but to become a light for those still imprisoned in fear, slander, and despair. Look back at the path you've traveled. Those scars now glow, for they are proof of my faithfulness. My child, do not close your heart. When the old chapter ends, a new door opens. Behind it lies a journey more radiant, more profound. What you thought was loss was merely making room for what is greater to come. I am expanding your vision, leading you to a place where faith is no longer theory but breath itself. There, you will not only understand grace, you will become its embodiment. Do not be afraid when you see the world changing. The collapse of what is false is not the end, but a purification. Just as a heavy rain washes the dust from the earth, I am using this upheaval to cleanse the souls of many. When everything settles, the ground will be renewed, and you, the one who stood firm through the storm, will be placed in a position of creation, of influence, of glory. Understand that nothing you have endured has been in vain. You have learned how to stand in silence without losing your inner voice. You have learned how to bear pain without letting your heart turn to stone. You have discovered that true victory does not come when others applaud, but when your soul finds peace again. And that is the reward no world can take from you. Now, I am calling you to step out from the ruins of the past, out from the smoke of rumors, out from the fear of judgment. Lift your head high, for your glory does not come from human praise but from the gaze of God. Walk in faith, for before you lies a path paved with light, a path that leads you to the destiny I have already set. They will look at you, and they will have to admit, you did not merely survive, you were transformed. No longer the one who was wronged, you have become the bearer of blessing. No longer the one who suffered pain, you have become the healer. No longer the one cast into darkness, you have become the light that guides. And when they ask how you made it through, you will smile because you know it was not your strength, but my hand that upheld you every step of the way. This story is not about defeat. It is a testimony that no one can extinguish the destiny of one chosen by heaven. Engrave this upon your heart. Every wound, every rumor, every betrayal, all of it is shaping you into the person you were born to be, and you are very close now, child of light. The great thing is right before you. Do not fear, do not hesitate, do not look back. Step forward, for heaven is making the way, and from this moment, this story belongs entirely to you. Child of light, do you know the trap they set was not just a petty human scheme? It was a labyrinth crafted with the precision of fearful souls, those too terrified of the light within you to let it shine. They built that snare not only with words or deeds, but with pretense, with smiles flavored with deceit, with sweetness laced with intention, and promises glazed with poisoned honey. Every step, every glance, every handshake they offered was calculated, as though they had rehearsed their performance before the curtain rose. They believed you would not notice, that you would trust the appearance of goodwill, and in doing so, walk willingly into the place where blades had already been hidden in the shadows. But my child, you are no longer who you once were. Your soul has passed through fire, refined to the point where it can see truth even beneath the most dazzling facade. That trap, which on the surface seemed coincidental, was in truth a carefully woven plan, like a play directed by an unseen hand, where every character carries a secret role, and you, unknowingly, were placed at its center. Yet there is one thing they did not foresee. There is another director, the one who reigns above all human designs, who is rewriting the script. Every whisper they've exchanged, every step they've plotted, every nod they thought was hidden, has been recorded in heaven's scroll. Nothing escapes the eyes of the one who created the light and also sees through the darkness. Micah 7-9 says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he pleads my cause and executes judgment for me. He will bring me out to the light. I shall behold his righteousness. And even now that righteousness is moving. They smile, they speak softly, they appear to care, but inside is a labyrinth of intention. They pretend to be harmless, to be companions, yet in their eyes flickers the gleam of calculation. They have signed silent pacts, traded secret promises in the dark, and built a web of deceit around you, hoping you would not see it. They were too confident in their ability to conceal, forgetting that heaven never sleeps. Every whisper, every glance, every hidden meeting lies within the sight of the Almighty. And once he has witnessed it, justice cannot be delayed forever. You may have already sensed it, the sudden pressure in the air, the offers that sound alluring yet unsettle your spirit, the agreements that appear beneficial but are actually invisible chains. Those signs are not random, my child. They are heaven's warnings to let you know something is amiss. When your soul begins to feel the trembling in the atmosphere, when your intuition whispers that something is hidden, listen, for that is the voice of the Spirit guiding you away from the snare they set. They thought you would easily comply, that you would sign the papers they placed before you and nod along to their hollow promises. They believed your trust and kindness were weaknesses, that your sincerity was a flaw they could exploit, but they were wrong. You are no longer the one who walks in naivety. You are one who has been forged in fire. You have learned that some promises are not meant to be believed, but to test discernment. You now understand that some smiles do not come from goodwill, but from hidden schemes. And now, as you see everything clearly, you do not need anger, you only need to stand firm, for when the light within you rises, darkness exposes itself. Heaven is rewriting this chapter of your life. Those who once whispered about you in the shadows will soon have to speak your name in the light. They who conspired in secret will be compelled to reveal the truth they once tried to bury. They who plotted to drag you down will, without knowing it, be the very ones who lift you up. This is how heaven works. It turns the enemy's schemes into stepping stones for the chosen. Do you see it now? Destiny is awakening. It moves quietly but with unstoppable force, like an underground river gathering power until it bursts forth. A great turning point is approaching, not to destroy you, but to exalt you. The very trap they built to ruin you is closing in on them, for divine justice always finds its own balance. When they think they have won, that is the very moment they lose within their own game. Do not fear when you see them panic. Do not be unsettled when secrets start to leak, when those who once shook hands now turn their backs on each other. This is proof that justice has entered the room. Heaven does not need noise to act, it only needs a moment. And when that moment comes, all truth will be revealed, not through violence, but through light. My child, this is the hour you are called to ascend to a higher level of faith. Do not view events with mortal eyes, but with the eyes of your spirit. Every trial is not merely a human struggle for power. It is a sacred lesson. They help you see who truly stands in the light and who only wears its disguise. Every falsehood will be burned away. Only what is built upon truth will endure. Believe that all things are being arranged for your good. Even the trap they built is serving heaven's purpose, for I can turn schemes into miracles, betrayal into the pathway toward blessing. Remember Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, yet destined to become the one who saved his family. So too, what they intended to harm you with will become the door through which you step into your true calling. Prepare your heart, for when this turning point comes, you will not be the same. Everything you once feared will become your strength. Every word spoken against you will testify to your faithfulness, and in the very place where they sought to humiliate you, I will place my glory upon you. Then none will be able to deny that you are chosen. You do not need to fight to prove yourself, for truth is rising on its own. You do not need to retaliate, for justice is already at work. All you must do is keep your heart pure, unclouded by resentment. For I do not only desire your deliverance, I desire to make you a living witness of how light conquers darkness through steadfastness, compassion, and unwavering faith. There will be days when the weight feels heavy, when pressure comes from every side. But remember, pressure is not meant to crush you. It is meant to birth diamonds within your soul. The light in you is being refined, so it can illuminate the path for others. What you are enduring is not merely a test. It is the anointing ceremony for your new calling. And when that moment comes, when the secrets are exposed and justice is revealed, you will not only be vindicated, you will be lifted up. The trap they built to confine you will become a monument of miracles. The world will look upon you and say, "That one has been kept by God. Child of light, walk with courage. Do not look back." Darkness cannot touch one who knows they are wrapped in the radiance of the Almighty. You need not fear the schemes of men, for heaven's design is always greater, deeper, and more perfect. They may write a play, but heaven writes destiny, and in that book of destiny, your name has been engraved in light, a light that no force can extinguish. Now take a deep breath, lift your eyes, and smile, for even when the storm roars, the sky never loses its blue. Even when the world conspires, truth will prevail, and though you have walked through the fire, you will not be consumed. You will shine brighter than ever before. This is not your end. This is merely the beginning of a victory written by the hand of God Himself. Child of light, every moment you continue to walk steadfastly in this present time is another moment you are stepping out of the trap they so carefully crafted to silence your voice. That snare, designed with calculation and cunning, woven from words meant to diminish you, is now becoming the very evidence that condemns them. They thought they could make you bow your head in shame, that silence would be the chain binding your soul, but heaven has overturned it all. The very place where they wish to see you fall is where I have caused you to rise. The pit they believed would bury you forever has become the soil where the seed of justice begins to sprout. They do not realize that every act of theirs, however small, lies within heaven's sight, and now, as the appointed time arrives, the mask they have worn will fall not only before the eyes of others, but before their own. They will see themselves reflected in the mirror of truth, and that light will be unbearable to them. The lies they once spoke, the schemes they cloaked in smiles, the glances they hid behind false innocence, all will be stripped bare under the light that cannot be concealed. And you, soul refined by the storm, will stand firm like a pillar in the square of light, unshaken, untouchable, because truth itself shelters you. They tried to make you believe you were alone, that no one saw you, that your voice would fade into oblivion, but heaven saw everything, and now truth will no longer stay silent. It stands beside you like a warrior clad in gold, ready to speak what the world tried to bury. Remember this: you do not need to shout to be recognized. Light never needs to declare it is not darkness. Your presence, your patience, your faith, they have already spoken on your behalf. In the days to come, some of them may approach you. They will speak words that sound like remorse. They will try to mend the cracks with a kindness that comes too late. They will say, "Let's start over," or "It was all a misunderstanding." But my child, do not rush to embrace or resent them. Heaven is teaching you the sacred art of peace, that true victory is not found in watching others fall, but in keeping your soul untainted by hatred. Let peace be your crown. When you choose not to retaliate, you step beyond the reach of darkness. When you keep your heart pure, you allow me to fight on your behalf. One among them will soon have to confess, not because they wish to, but because they can no longer bear the weight of truth. That confession will not need to be forced from them. It will break forth on its own, like a stone cracking under unbearable pressure. And when that moment comes, the whole world around you will witness it, and you will be completely set free. The winds will change direction, the sky will clear again, and your soul will be revived like a parched field, receiving its first rain of the season. Archangel Michael says, "Divine justice does not arrive with noise, it arrives with precision." Engrave those words upon your heart. For the justice of heaven is not the thunder that terrifies, but the gentle wind that sweeps away every layer of deceit, revealing the original purity of the soul. Every whisper that once wounded you, every murmur that stole your sleep, every insult that forced you to bow your head in silent anguish, now they will echo back, exposing their betrayal. And as the truth slowly unfolds, you will feel a new kind of peace, quiet, unassuming, yet deep and enduring, like the calm breath that follows a long and weary battle. That peace is not a small reward, it is the sign of true victory, for only those who have endured pain, misunderstanding, and betrayal, yet have kept their hearts turned toward God, can understand its worth. When the snare collapses, you will not only be free, you will be ushered into a flood of new opportunities. Doors that once seemed locked for ages will open effortlessly, as though they were never closed. Those who turned their backs on you, those who once scorned you, will now seek you out not from fear, but from recognition of the genuine light you carry. Look closely, for the energy within you is being restored. The light once dimmed by sorrow now burns bright again. Your honor, which they tried to obscure, is being restored not through the clamor of the crowd, but through the quiet respect in the eyes of those who once doubted you. The story of your life is being rewritten not by human hands, but by the pen of heaven. Line by line, word by word, every event leads you toward a new chapter, where light will no longer be veiled by shadow. Pay attention, beloved, for the signs of blessing are drawing near. It might be a message that appears unexpectedly, carrying good news you never anticipated. It could be a letter from someone you thought would never return. It might even be a phone call just a few minutes long, yet enough to change the entire direction of your life. Do not see these as coincidences. Nothing is coincidental in the plan of God. These seemingly small moments are heaven's gentle replies, rewards sent to those who remained faithful through the long night of trials. And then you will understand that everything that has ever happened was not meant to cause loss, but to bring you to a place that only truth could lead you to. You will realize that justice does not come to avenge, it comes to restore. It restores dignity, it restores peace, it restores your faith in yourself and in the one who called you to walk this path. You will see clearly that heaven was never silent. It was simply waiting for the appointed time. Keep your heart tender, my child. Do not let anger or pride find their way in. When the truth is revealed, you need not boast, you only need to give thanks. For everything you have now is not won by your own strength, but because God fought for you. He defended your name, lifted you when you fell, and now He is placing in your hands the torch of peace, so that you may shine light for others still wandering through the night of doubt and pain. So do not be surprised when blessings arrive unexpectedly. Do not be alarmed when change happens swiftly. When heaven's justice begins to move, everything aligns to its rhythm. New doors will open, new opportunities will arise, and your soul will be liberated to soar higher than ever before. From the place where you were once humiliated, you will be exalted. From the corner where you were forgotten, you will be remembered. From the ground where you once fell, you will take your first step into a new journey of light. My child, this is not merely the end of a chapter, it is the beginning of a new destiny. Keep your heart still and walk with humility, for it is in that stillness that heaven speaks. And heaven says, I have seen it all, I have heard it all, and now I will act. The trap they set has collapsed, and from its ashes you shall rise stronger, brighter, and freer than ever before. This is your moment. This is the dawn of a new chapter of grace, where truth, justice, and peace merge together within your soul like a triumphant hymn written only by heaven itself. My beloved child, what the world thought was your ending is in truth the beginning heaven had ordained. The schemes of men cannot interrupt the plans of heaven, for all things rest within the hands of the Almighty. That which was built to make you fall, the accusations, the misunderstandings, the hidden plots, has now become the very foundation upon which you step into your new journey. Darkness tried to consume you, but the light within you cannot be extinguished, for it does not come from human will, but from the eternal source of God Himself. Darkness may hover around the light for a moment, but it can never overcome it. And now you stand where darkness has no more power, where the light is restored, radiant and pure as the morning dawn. You were never their true target. Their aim was to silence what they could not comprehend: your faith, your steadfastness, and your peace. Yet what they did not know is that God chose you to prove an eternal truth. No power on earth can defeat a soul that depends wholly upon Him. You did not simply survive, you triumphed. And your victory did not come through force, but through steadfastness, through the unyielding strength of faith. When they thought they were writing your final chapter, heaven was quietly turning the first page of a new story, a story where darkness no longer reigns, but where light, grace, and divine purpose overflow. Those who once doubted you will see you differently. They will speak your name not with scorn, but with respect. They will remember you as the one who stood firm in the storm, who did not lose faith when every door was shut. The honor they now give you will not come from fear, but from reverence for one who chose love over hatred, silence over vengeance. They will wonder, how could this person remain so calm through it all? And the answer will echo within their hearts: it is because you did not fight alone. Heaven fought for you. Then you will understand. That trap was never meant to punish you. It was meant to prepare you. Heaven does not send trials to destroy you, but to refine you, so that even as darkness believed it was winning, your soul was being purified, fortified, and made to shine brighter than ever before. No gold becomes pure without passing through fire. Likewise, no soul finds true peace without walking through the valley of deceit, betrayal, and loneliness. What you thought was loss was merely an old shell being peeled away to reveal your renewed essence, steadfast, wise, and closer to God than ever before. It may seem that heaven has closed every door that once led to betrayal, to pain, to nights where you wept in silence. But do not mourn the doors that are closed. For when heaven shuts a door, it is never rejection, it is protection. God does not wish you to enter rooms no longer meant for you. Instead, He opens a new door, a path that leads straight to peace, where you no longer need to strive to prove your worth, where deceit can no longer wound you. There, you will find rest, love, and rebirth. You have overcome what was designed to break you, and that is the greatest miracle of your life. Miracles are not only when the sea divides or when manna falls from the sky. They also happen when a soul buried in despair still finds the light to rise again. When you choose not to let pain define you, you touch the very essence of the miraculous. When you forgive instead of hate, when you smile in the midst of trials, that is when heaven reveals itself through you. Nothing you endured was in vain. Every tear you shed has watered the seed of blessing that is now beginning to bloom. Your story, resilient soul, is about to become a living testimony. It will not be the tale of a victim, but of one who walked through the storm and rediscovered their true self in the light. People will speak of you as proof that true faith can lift a person above every circumstance. Your silence, once mistaken for weakness, will now be recognized as a sign of deep strength. Your gentleness, once thought fragile, will now be seen as the shield of great courage. And when the light surrounds you, remember this truth: the trap was real, but so was your safety net, your unwavering faith in God. The storm that once swirled around your name has now dissolved. The wind remains, but it no longer carries the chill of hatred. It has become a new breeze, blowing toward restoration. What once made you tremble has now become your source of strength. You will realize that every storm lasts only until it fulfills its purpose. Storms come to clear the air, to uproot deceit, to purify the sky, and when they pass, your dawn appears. What is about to unfold will astonish even those who once plotted against you, not because you have sought revenge, but because they will witness something undeniable, the grace of God covering you. They will see you rise, not by manipulation or power, but by something they cannot grasp. Peace. They will be bewildered, they will question, but they will not be able to deny that a divine hand is lifting you up. Heaven has been silent for a long time, but that silence was never abandonment, it was preparation. The silence of heaven is never empty. It is the stillness before a great symphony begins. Like a seed lying dormant in the soil, seeming lifeless, yet within it, a new life is being formed. And now, that silence is drawing to an end. The wind of the Spirit is moving. The prayers you once whispered in solitude are being answered. Soon, every secret will be revealed not through shouts, but through light. Layers of darkness will fade, fragments of deceit will crumble like dust. Truth will not arrive like a violent flood, but like a quiet dawn, and when it comes, nothing will be able to stop it. What was once hidden in darkness will be brought into the open, and those who once looked down on you will bow not before you, but before the one who has been with you. And when that moment arrives, you will no longer feel resentment. Instead, your heart will overflow with gratitude, grateful for being tested so you could know the value of peace, grateful for the tears so you could understand true joy, grateful for the loneliness so you could feel the nearness of God more deeply. You will look back on every wound and realize they were the doors that led you closer to Him. Therefore, my child, do not be afraid as you step into this new chapter. Walk with steady feet, with a heart free of bitterness, and a soul soaked in grace. Everything that was meant to destroy you has become the very platform from which you will soar higher. Believe that you no longer need to look back. The old things have passed away. Ahead lies peace, glory, and the joy of being reborn in the light of the Creator. And as you walk forth in that light, the world will understand that some are chosen not to fight, but to prove that the love and truth of God never fail. Beloved one, the very moment you receive these words with an open heart is the moment the wheel of transformation begins to turn. The heavy clouds are beginning to break apart. The mist that once veiled the truth is being torn away. Everything that seemed motionless is beginning to shift, not by human design, but by the rhythm of heaven. You may not realize it, but the moment you chose to believe in truth, light began its journey. What once bound you through words, glances, and judgments is losing its grip. For the power of truth always awakens in silence, gentle, unannounced, yet strong enough to shake the very foundations built upon lies. Those who once spread rumors about you, who spoke with scorn, are now whispering behind each other's backs in fear. They sense something coming, something beyond their control. They fear that the secrets they've hidden, the words they thought harmless, the acts they believed clever, are turning against them, becoming evidence of their own undoing. They are afraid because they can feel the light of truth approaching. It does not strike like lightning. It seeps in like dawn, leaving their inner darkness nowhere to hide. And in that moment, they will realize the trap they built was never meant for you. It was born of fear, envy, and the hunger for control, and now they themselves are caught in their own web. Someone among them will soon confess not because they want to, but because they can no longer bear the weight of guilt. There are truths that, when imprisoned too long, will force, their way to the surface like seeds breaking through the soil in search of light. Lies may endure for a season, but they cannot outlast time. And now, their own weariness, the unease, the fear of exposure, the voice of conscience is breaking them down. Guilt is the heaviest burden of all, and no one can carry it forever without collapsing. They may try to hide, but conscience is a voice that cannot be silenced. It is the whisper of God within every soul, reminding them that justice can never be buried. And in that very moment, my child, you will understand that you were never alone amid the chaos. Archangel Michael has always been by your side, even when you felt abandoned, even when your prayers seemed to echo into silence. Each time you wept, he was there, quietly recording every tear as though it were a clear, precious gem. Every tear carried within it a testimony that you chose truth, that you did not answer hatred with hatred, that you remained pure in the storm of deceit. And now, those tears have turned into light, the light of justice, the light of vindication, the light of a new beginning. They are illuminating the path that leads you home, not to a house of stone, but to the temple of your soul, where you will find true peace. Then there will come a wondrous moment when you will simply feel it, without the need for explanation. Like a wave of peace washing over you, it will make you exhale softly after months of holding your breath. Your body will feel light, your heart suddenly calm, and your spirit will know that the storm has passed. That peace does not come from outside, it rises from within, from the realization that heaven has never left you, not for a single second. Every fragment of your story, the scattered events, the seemingly random turns, the unplanned encounters will begin to align like pieces of a carefully arranged mosaic. You will see that everything had its reason. Every person who crossed your path, whether friend or foe, played a part in shaping you. Every pain that once shattered you has now become a mirror reflecting the light of your maturity. Every delay, every door that once closed, will reveal its purpose, that all of it was part of God's perfect plan, a plan that is never late and never mistaken. So when you receive an unexpected message, do not rush to call it coincidence. When a familiar name reappears after years of silence, or when a call comes in the night from someone you least expected, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and recognize this is not random. It is truth finding its way home. Heaven is arranging every detail so that hidden words may be revealed, that those who turned away may face their own conscience, and that wounded souls, including yours, may finally be healed. The truth may not arrive in a grand or glorious form. It may come through an awkward apology, a hesitant glance, or a short message of only a few words. But my child, never underestimate the small things, for God often reveals His power through the humble. A gentle breeze can still carry the fragrance of redemption. A single honest word, though late, can still open the door to peace. Prepare your heart to receive it, for truth does not come only to vindicate, it comes to renew. When clarity dawns, you will not only see your freedom but feel your heart expand wider, deeper, fuller. You will understand that forgiveness is the mightiest weapon light possesses. When you choose to forgive, you end the cycle of darkness, and in that very act, you become the true victor. Know, my child, that everything unfolding is under Heaven's control. Do not fear when things begin to shift swiftly. Do not be alarmed when people start speaking of what they once denied. All of it is a sign that the wheel of justice is turning. It does not turn by your will, but by the divine timing of God, and He never errs. Michael speaks to you now. Keep your heart still, for the justice of heaven does not need to be defended by noise, but by precision. All that must be revealed will be revealed. All who must bow will bow, and every faithful heart will be restored. You need only hold your faith firm and keep walking forward, for you are flowing within the current of a far greater orchestration than your eyes can see. Let peace reign within you. Do not respond with anger or resentment, When truth surfaces, when confessions are spoken, look upon them with the eyes of one who has been redeemed, not of one seeking retribution. For justice has already been executed in the unseen realm before it manifests on earth, and what heaven desires you to carry forth is not the triumph of the ego, but the triumph of the soul. One day, very soon, you will come to understand that nothing you have endured was ever meaningless. Every lie, every wound, every tear, all of them have shaped the radiant, resilient, and loving version of yourself that stands today. And it is this very transformation that will draw others to you, not merely to seek forgiveness, but to learn how to rise again. Child of light, smile now, for the hidden things are being revealed. The light can no longer be contained. The truth can no longer be suppressed. Everything is returning to its rightful place. And you, the one who walked through the storm with open hands, are stepping into a season of restoration, glory, and peace that no one can take away. Know this: in every whisper of the wind, in every glimmer of light you see, heaven is speaking to you. I have seen your tears, I have heard your prayers, and now you will see my promise fulfilled. The sound of darkness is fading, while your soul, though silent, resonates like a hymn of truth. They may try to appear composed, but eyes cannot lie. In that trembling gaze, you will glimpse the panic hidden beneath the mask of calm, the guilt trembling as it searches for a place to hide. What seems peaceful on the surface is merely a fragile veil concealing the storm rising within them. And heaven, with perfect precision, is setting all things back into the divine order of justice, not hastily, not slowly, but flawlessly, in God's appointed time. He continues, "Engrave this upon your heart: the battle is over, and we have won, not by human strength, but by the steadfastness of a chosen soul. The trap has dissolved. The darkness has consumed itself, and you stand firm as living proof that purity cannot be imprisoned. Every lie once shot like a poisoned arrow is now rotting in the hands of those who released it. Every scheme, every distortion, every voice that sought to tear you down is now falling silent, dissolving beneath the light of truth. My child, do not let this moment pass without meaning. This is the time for you to rise from the ashes and see that what was meant to destroy you has instead paved the way for your resurrection. A new wind is sweeping through your life, carrying a message from the realm of light. It may come as a message, a letter, or an encounter that seems coincidental, yet your heart will know it is not by chance. Every word, every breath in that moment will align perfectly with the deep intuition your soul has long carried. Heaven does not send signals through thunder, but through the gentle stirrings of the heart. You are not being punished, you are being awakened. The clarity within you is the gift born from your darkest days, the fruit of nights you spent on your knees in tears, still believing when there was nothing left to hold on to. That faith has made your name sacred not through human praise, but through the gaze of God Himself. Your name is engraved upon His palm, and no one can erase it. Once, they spoke your name in conversations laced with doubt, but time will change everything. When they speak of you again, it will be with reverence, in the hushed tone of those who have witnessed a miracle. They will realize that you never needed to defend yourself, for the peace within you was the most powerful testimony of all. And one day, those who once opposed you will come, perhaps quietly, perhaps late, to ask for forgiveness. They will come, not for honor, but because their conscience has awakened. The truth will not only vindicate you, it will free them from the chains of deceit. Heaven's intention has never been to destroy, but to bring every soul back into the light, and you, chosen one, will stand as living proof of that mercy. So lift your head high. Do not seek to justify or prove yourself. You need not speak, for your voice now rests within the light that God Himself has kindled. Let peace be your language, and forgiveness your reply. All is complete, and you now stand within victory, not of the flesh, but of the soul. The battle has truly ended. Your light has risen beyond the reach of darkness, and heaven whispers through the wind. You have kept the faith, you have walked through the fire, and were not consumed. Now, step into your season of peace, for my glory is shining through you. My beloved child, when the final storm fades and the smoke of trials clears, you will see that what remains is not merely calm, it is a quiet flame, glowing steadily within your soul. This fire was not kindled by your own hand, but by heaven itself, by Archangel Michael, who walked beside you through every step of your suffering. The light you now carry is no longer meant only to guide your own path. It has been born to lead other souls, those who have lost faith, who wander in the mist of fear and guilt, who are searching for something truer, deeper, more sacred. Heaven chose you not because you are perfect, but because you have been broken. Only souls that have tasted the night can understand the beauty of dawn. Only those who have been deeply wounded can touch the depths of mercy. You have walked through betrayal, loneliness, cruel rumors, and cold silences, yet through all of it, the light within you has been refined. You are no longer one who seeks salvation, you have become an instrument through which heaven brings salvation to others. Those who once mocked you, who turned away, who doubted your purity, will now come seeking you. Not because they wish to honor you, but because their souls sense in you something they have lost, true peace. They will come quietly, not with pride, but with the silence of weary hearts. They will ask how you remain standing, how you could forgive, how you can still smile after all that was done to you. And you will not need to explain, you will simply live. For true light needs no words, it radiates through the way you see, the way you forgive, the way you love. Archangel Michael says to you, light is only perfect when it shines for others. If a lamp burns only for itself, its flame will soon die. But if it gives warmth to others, heaven will keep pouring oil into it. And you, child of light, are that lamp. You have learned that healing is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey, a journey of bringing the light of God into the darkest corners of the human soul. The day you understand this, your heart will resonate like a string newly tuned. You will feel a gentle flow within your chest, as though every tear you once shed has turned into a river of mercy flowing outward. You will begin to see the world through different eyes, the eyes of compassion. You will realize that many people are not cruel, they are simply lost. Many are not heartless, they have simply not been loved enough. Many are not deceitful, they are merely struggling to survive their own darkness. And in seeing this, you will know that your healing is no longer just for you, it is flowing through you, spreading into the world like water descending from the high mountains to revive barren fields. Heaven will arrange for you to meet the souls who need you sometimes through what seems like coincidence. A stranger on the road may share their pain, and all you must do is listen. An old friend may return, burdened by something they cannot tell anyone else. Someone on the brink of despair may find you, drawn by the quiet safety they sense in your presence. And you will understand that none of it is random, it is your calling. For heaven never chooses without purpose. Michael says, every soul that carries light is a messenger, and that light spreads farther when you share it through kindness. There will be times when you feel exhausted, for darkness always seeks to test the light, but remember the torch in your hand was not lit by you. It was lit by the sacred fire of God, and He will not let it die. When you feel weak, He will add oil. When you feel weary, He will send angels to strengthen you. As long as you keep walking, even with the smallest steps, you are fulfilling your mission. My child, the wonder is that when you help others, you continue to be healed yourself. Every word you speak with sincerity will return to soothe you. Every soul you touch will become a testimony of heaven's work within you. You will never lack, for every time you give away light, heaven doubles it in you. That light will grow not through power or fame, but through love, the only force strong enough to pierce all darkness. Look back on the road you have traveled. You once thought you would never stand again, yet here you are, not merely a survivor, but the chosen one. You were once wounded by words, yet now your words can heal. You were once betrayed, yet now you teach others how to forgive. This is heaven's greatest miracle, turning wounds into the places where light enters and transforming every loss into a divine mission. You may not realize it, but your very presence has already begun to change those around you. They feel peace when they are near you, even when you say nothing. They feel heard, even when all you offer is a quiet smile. The peace within you, the kind that only those who have walked through storms can carry, has become a living testimony to the power of God. One day, you will see it more clearly. The light within you is reaching places you have never been. A single prayer of yours can touch a soul thousands of miles away. A small act of kindness can pull someone back from the edge of despair. You do not need to see every outcome, for your task is to sow, and heaven will take care of the harvest. Michael says, when you walk in light, the universe rearranges itself so that your light can be seen. There will be souls who cross your path only briefly, like sparks passing through the night, yet that single moment will be enough to change a lifetime. You need not perform great deeds. Simply let love flow through you, naturally and sincerely. Let your hands become instruments of comfort. Let your words become streams of living water for weary hearts. And each time you do so, you are continuing the story of light. My child, do not fear that. You are not enough. Heaven has never asked for perfection, only willingness. God does not seek the strong. He seeks those who will let Him be strong through them. You have been tested by fire, and now you are a witness. You need no armor, for your humility itself is your shield. You need no sword, for the words you speak in love are the sharpest blade. And here is the promise engraved from heaven. With every step you take, your light will multiply. Every word you speak in sincerity will become a butterfly of blessing, flying farther than you imagine. Every small act of love will resonate all the way to heaven. Nothing you do in the name of God is ever in vain. No smile, no embrace, no prayer is too small in His sight. You were once rescued, now you are sent. You were once healed, now you are the source of healing. You once walked out of darkness, now you are the light itself. And this light, my child, no longer belongs to you alone. It belongs to the world, to the souls, still searching for a torch to guide them home. Walk in peace, and remember, heaven is still watching. Every step you take is a melody. Every breath you draw is a prayer. And every time you touch a soul with love, the heavens blaze, for the light within you was not merely given, it was multiplied, eternally unextinguished. My child, there are paths in life that only when you have walked them through and looked back will you understand that pain was never meant to destroy you, but to awaken you. When you were in the midst of the storm, you thought I had abandoned you, but when the storm subsided, you realized it was I who held your hand through the night. Every wound on your journey, every time you fell, every tear shed in silence, none of it was meaningless. Every crack within your soul was a window through which my light could enter. It is through those very fractures that my grace seeped in, healed you, lifted you up, and made you a new being, deeper, humbler, and brighter. You once walked through the valley of shadows, where the echoes of despair seemed louder than any prayer. There were nights when you knelt down, words trapped in your throat, and only tears spoke for you. You thought I was silent, but in that silence, I was listening to every trembling beat of your heart. I did not leave. I stood near, waiting to see if you would believe in what your eyes could not see. My silence was not absence, it was space for you to hear your own soul. And when you stopped blaming, stopped grasping for control, stopped struggling when you let pain simply be pain, my light began to pour in. You have learned that forgiveness is not weakness, but the strength of a soul that has matured. Forgiveness does not deny the wound. It refuses to let the wound become a chain. Forgiveness is when you choose to lay down the sword, even when you have every reason to lift it. For when you refuse to forgive, you bind your spirit to the past. But when you choose forgiveness, you open the door for me to enter. You think you are doing a favor for another, but in truth, you are setting yourself free. Forgiveness does not make you smaller, it shapes you into my likeness, the one who loves even when betrayed. The day you truly forgave, I saw your soul grow weightless, like a leaf lifted by the wind. The burden you had carried for so many years suddenly dissolved, and I heard your sigh of release blend with heaven's rejoicing. You no longer needed to win against anyone, for the truest victory was the moment you ended the war within yourself. When you let go of resentment, you became free. When you chose peace instead of vengeance, you stepped into my kingdom, the place where only hearts that know how to love are given rest. The memories that once caused you pain, that once drew tears from your eyes, have now become treasures I have placed in your hands. You are beginning to understand that nothing in this life happens by accident. If you had never been betrayed, you would never have understood my faithfulness. If you had never been wounded, you would not know compassion. If you had never lost, you would never grasp the value of what you now hold. Every pain is a lesson, every loss, a chapter in the story of salvation I have written uniquely for you. I do not bless by removing suffering, I bless by transforming suffering itself into grace. Look at your soul, my child, it is like a garden after a fire. When the flames of trial have passed, only ashes and dry earth remain. You thought everything was dead. But then I sent the rain, not the rain of this world, but the rain of grace. Drop by drop it fell, soaking into the places once burned bare, and new shoots began to rise. Not as before, but stronger, deeper rooted, and more radiant. Thus is your soul purified, all that was false consumed, and only the pure remains. Just as gold is refined in fire, your spirit has been refined through trial to shine with even greater brilliance. Spiritual maturity does not arrive in the applause of the world, but in the silence of faith. It is not measured by how much you know, but by how deeply you trust. True faith is not believing when all is well, it is holding my hand in the storm, walking forward when you cannot see the way. The greatest miracle is not when I part the sea, but when your broken heart dares to believe it can love again. Each time you choose love over hatred, trust over fear, courage over surrender, you are becoming more like me, and one day you will awaken to find the world transformed. Not because everything around you has changed, but because your eyes have been opened by me. You will begin to see me in everything, in the brilliance of dawn, in the breeze brushing your cheek, in the dew resting on leaves, in the laughter of children, in the weary eyes of those who labor. You will realize I dwell not only in temples, but in every smallest moment of life. You will find me not only in prayer, but in your breath, in your silence, in the beating of your own heart. I have been there from the very beginning. You simply were not quiet enough to perceive me. When you stop searching for me in distant places, you will discover that I have always been within you. I am not the thunder that shouts, but the gentle whisper in your mind when your heart is still. I do not require elaborate rituals. I ask only that you come to me with honesty, for wherever love is, there I am. You no longer need miracles to believe, for every breath you take is already a miracle. Each morning when your eyes open, it is my new promise to you. You are still chosen. You still have a purpose. I do not ask you to be perfect. I ask you to be sincere with me. I do not seek the strong. I seek those who dare to admit their weakness, so that I may be strong through them. My beloved, do not reject your past anymore. Look upon it with gratitude. Without those dark days, you would not be the light you are now. I have used the very things that once brought you to your knees to build a foundation within you that cannot be shaken. Every wound you have endured stands as a testimony to my enduring love, a love that never abandons, never fails, and never forgets. Now, your soul is a garden reborn. All that was old, every wound, every regret, has been consumed in the fire of purification. Upon that bed of ashes, I am sowing new seeds, the seeds of faith, of hope, and of love. The flame that seemed to destroy you was never meant to harm you. It only burned away what did not belong to you, so that the truest part of you could be born. And when you lift your head, you will hear the sound of peace, not loud, not fierce, but soft as the breath of wind. It is the sound of my presence within you. I am no longer the one you search for in distant places, but the one living inside you in every heartbeat, in every breath. When you inhale, you receive me. When you exhale, you release me into the world. My child, remember this. True awakening is not reaching a lofty peak, but returning home to where you have always belonged, in my embrace. It is when you finally understand that nothing can separate you from my love. Not power, not sin, not darkness, not even time. For I am in you, and you are in me. From this moment on, you are no longer the seeker, but the one who is found. No longer the wanderer in the night, but the bearer of light. No longer afraid, for my love has been made perfect within you. And as you walk forward, my child, remember this. Every step you take bears the imprint of heaven, for I do not merely walk beside you, I live within you. Wherever you go, my light will radiate, so that other souls may see and know that God still dwells among humankind. My beloved, the time of darkness has passed. The long nights when you lay awake in restlessness, the days you walked not knowing your way, those were merely old chapters in the book I have written. Now, a new chapter begins, and the doors once sealed are slowly opening, not by your power, but by my hand. I have seen you walk through fire without giving up. I have seen you choose love over resentment, faith over despair. And now that the fire has refined your soul, now that your heart is soft enough to understand and strong enough to love, I declare, rise, my child of light. For the season of blessing has come. The doors once closed to you will no longer be shut. The places that turned their backs will now open their arms. You will witness the impossible becoming effortless, not because the world has changed, but because your energy has. Once, you knocked in fear, and the doors remained closed. Now, you knock in faith, and they open on their own. When your soul aligns with the will of heaven, all things in the universe begin to move in harmony to fulfill that purpose. Look closely, and you will see every unexpected encounter, every opportunity that appears out of nowhere is a sign that I am arranging all things. A door to work that you once longed for now opens easily, as though it had been crafted for you since the beginning. A new relationship arrives not to test you, but to support, to complete, to walk beside you along the path I have designed. Invitations, messages, people, changes, they all begin to blend and lock together like the pieces of a perfect mosaic painted by my own hand from the dawn of creation. Heaven is sending to you other chosen ones. They do not come to replace you, but to join you in fulfilling my purpose. Some will arrive quietly as friends, as partners, as kindred souls. Others will appear suddenly as the answer to prayers you once whispered in despair. I am gathering souls that beat with the same rhythm into a single stream, so that together they may carry light to a world aching for healing. You will recognize them not by sight, but by the resonance within your soul. When you meet them, you will simply know, for I have taught you to perceive not through reason, but through the Spirit. You do not need to analyze or question, for when something truly belongs to you comes, it will carry with it the peace that cannot be counterfeited. My truth does not produce confusion. It brings forth a stillness so deep that your mind cannot comprehend it. That is the sign that I am present in all things. You will begin to see new connections, relationships woven not by human interest but by sincerity, understanding, and faith. These are not worldly ties, but sacred covenants, witnessed and sealed by me from above. My child, when you feel everything beginning to align, know that it is not by chance. Nothing in your life happens accidentally, for I am the one who orders all things in perfect harmony. Every shift you now witness is the fruit of 1,000 prayers you have sown through the years. You have planted with tears, and now you will harvest with joy. I have seen your faithfulness in the small days, and now I will place you in the greater. The works you thought were dead, the dreams you believed were buried, are being awakened by my hand. They may not return in the same form, but they will come back perfected, refined to fit the maturity of your soul today. Nothing is ever truly lost in my kingdom. All things are transformed to become better, deeper, and more radiant. I am the restorer, and I am restoring all things in your life. My beloved, can you feel it? The atmosphere around you is changing. New winds are beginning to blow, gentle yet unmistakable signs that the old season has passed. Everything is beginning to flow, to move, to fit together, as if guided by an invisible hand. That hand is mine. Every person you meet, every word you hear, every event you witness, all are part of a profound design I sketched before you were born. And when you see these things unfold, do not be surprised, for they are the result of your journey through the fire. Archangel Michael stands beside you, saying, "When you have learned within the flame, I will bring you into the light to work beside me. You were not burned by the fire, you were forged by it. Every trial of your past was not a punishment, but a lesson for your soul. And now, you have graduated." Michael places his hand upon your shoulder, and the light from his wings spreads around you like a mantle of protection. He says, "Now is the time for you to rise. No more fear, no more doubt, for you now know who leads your path." He points ahead, where a great door stands open, radiant with divine brilliance. That door does not lead to a single place, but to a new phase, the season of divine operation and holy commission. You step forward, and before your hand even touches it, the door opens by itself. My child, let me tell you a secret of heaven. Not every door is meant for you to open. Some doors open only when you have grown enough to cross their threshold without losing yourself. I will not have you enter glory with a heart still bound by fear, for that would cause you to lose your peace again. Now you are different. You have learned stillness in the storm, humility in victory, and gratitude in every circumstance. That is why I open the door now, and not before. Soon you will find yourself invited to places you once thought you did not belong. I will seat you among the powerful, not that you may seek honor, but that you may bring light. You will speak words that are not your own, but uttered through you by my Spirit. And when you speak, hearts will tremble and awaken, for those words will carry the breath of heaven. You do not need to strive to impress, for true light never seeks display, it simply shines. I will send to you souls that carry the same frequency of light, so that together you may build a new work, a work of healing, of unity, and of love. Some of them are already very near, simply waiting for my signal to appear. When you meet them, you will feel as though you have known them from another lifetime, for in truth, your souls met long ago in my kingdom. Every connection has a purpose. No one enters your life merely to pass through. And then, you will witness something wondrous. Everything in your life will begin to move like a symphony. No note will be misplaced, no rhythm out of time. What you once called delays, losses, or coincidences will reveal themselves as the pauses needed to make the melody complete. When I am the conductor, no sound falls out of harmony. When you behold my masterpiece, you will understand why I had to let you wait, to let you weep, to let you fall, for without the shadows, the light could never shine so brilliantly. My beloved child, breathe deeply and feel the breath of my spirit. You no longer need to search for the way, for the path is unfolding beneath your feet. Every step you take is illuminated, not by the torches of this world, but by the flame I have placed within your heart. You no longer need to rely on your own strength, for your strength comes from me. Each time you walk in faith, my angels go before you, clearing the path and sweeping away the obstacles. Remember this, my child. Every door that opens today is not a reward, but a responsibility, the sacred duty to carry my light into the places of darkness. You were chosen not to remain still, but to rise. Not to be praised, but to love. Not to be exalted, but to serve. And as you do, blessings will flow endlessly not only to you, but through you, reaching many others. Now, my child, step forward without fear, for you do not walk alone. I go before you, I stand beside you, and I dwell within you. My spirit is the wind beneath your feet, the light above your head, and the breath within your chest. You cannot lose your way, for I am the way. You cannot be without direction, for I am the light. You cannot fail, for I am the one who has already overcome. My child, the time has come for you to witness what heaven has long prepared: the restoration of honor, the radiance of dignity, and the voice of truth rising in my power. All that was once slandered, trampled, and hidden beneath the shadows of accusation is now being revealed beneath the radiant light of divine justice. Not through your defense, but through mine, for I, who see all things, am now defending you. I have heard every word spoken about you. I have seen the way they looked at you with suspicion, the way they whispered in corners where you could not stand to speak for yourself. I have seen those who once promised loyalty fall silent when you needed them most. Yet you did not answer with bitterness. You chose silence. You chose faithfulness. You chose to keep walking in the light, even when the world tried to cast darkness upon your name. That silence became the loudest testimony, and that faithfulness moved heaven to act. Now I cause people to look at you with new eyes. Those who once despised you are now unsettled. They cannot understand why you did not fall, why you remained peaceful when anger would seem justified. They look at you and, deep within, they sense something beyond human understanding is shielding you. They begin to see not with their eyes, but with their souls, that a greater power stands on your side. And one day, those very mouths that once spoke venom will have to confess. There is something extraordinary about this person. They may not know what it is, only that your peace humbles them and your humility makes them bow. I stir their hearts so they may learn that justice belongs not to man, but to me. They will fall silent, not because you have argued, but because the truth within you burns too brightly to be denied. My child, you need not justify yourself, for light does not need to speak. Its mere presence dispels darkness. All you must do is live in alignment with the light I have placed within you. Purity, faithfulness, kindness, these are defenses far stronger than any words. The world may debate speech, but it cannot deny a life illuminated by truth. You do not need to prove your worth. You need only live as one who knows they belong to me. Those who once turned their backs on you will return not because you have changed, but because they have been changed by the light you carry. They will behold your quiet steadfastness and feel a reverence they cannot explain. They thought you had lost everything, not knowing that I preserved what was most precious, your honor. True honor is not found in the praise of men, but in heaven's gaze of delight upon you. You will see me lead you back to places that once rejected you, and this time you will not enter with resentment, but with the calm of one who knows they have been sent. The doors once closed will now open wide. Those who once avoided you will invite you in, not because they suddenly changed, but because my appointed time has come. I have rewritten the story so that glory belongs to the light, and justice stands revealed before all. You will hear your name spoken no longer in gossip, but with respect. I will cause those who doubted you to speak well of you, not because they are forced to, but because the truth within you compels their acknowledgement. They will not see a flawless person, but a soul reborn by grace. And when they ask what you did to deserve it, you will smile and say, I did nothing. God did everything. Archangel Michael stands beside you and says, true honor needs no promotion. It shines through faithfulness. He knows that real dignity cannot be bought with status or power, but can only be preserved through loyalty to truth. Michael has fought for you in the unseen realm, and now he watches as your light begins to shine openly. He adds, I saw you remain faithful in the dark. Now heaven allows you to shine in the day. Remember, my child, all honor comes not from men, but from me. When I lift someone up, no one can bring them down. When I restore a name, no power can tarnish it again. Your reputation is being rewritten not upon the lips of men, but in the records of heaven. You need not defend yourself, for I am your defender. Someone will come to you, seeking forgiveness for what they once said and did. Some may not speak a word, but their eyes will reveal remorse, eyes softened by repentance. Welcome them with kindness, for it is through your forgiveness that my work in them will be completed. Let them see that true light does not only expose, but also warms. You need not revisit the past, for I have already closed that chapter. Simply dwell in the present, the place where my grace flows without end. Your honor is no longer bound by human words, rumors, or judgment. It rests in my hands, hands that never tremble. I am rewriting your story, not only to restore your name, but to prove that when a soul remains faithful, all of heaven moves to vindicate it. You will witness something wondrous, my child. People will begin to speak of you not with pity, but with reverence. They will retell your journey not as the tale of one who suffered, but of one who was redeemed. They will use your name as proof that God never remains silent toward the faithful, and that alone, without you saying a word, will soften their hearts and awaken faith within them. I will make your name a testimony, not so that you may be glorified, but so that I may be glorified through you. When people ask how you stood firm, you will say that it was my grace that sustained you. When they ask why you did not answer hatred with hatred, you will say that my love was enough for you. And when they ask how you can still smile after all your losses, you will say, because I am no longer afraid. My God is with me. Understand, my child, that true honor does not dwell in praise or fame, but in living according to the truth I placed in your heart. True honor is something no one can take away, for it does not belong to the world, it belongs to heaven, where every act, every word, every thought of yours is recorded in light. People may forget, but heaven never does. And when you truly grasp this, you will cease seeking approval from others. You will no longer chase acceptance, for you already bear my seal. You will no longer be wounded by judgment, because you will know that your worth is not measured by human lips, but by the heart of the one who created you. Live, then, in the peace of one who has been vindicated. Do not strive to prove yourself. Simply live rightly, for when you dwell in the light, I will cause the whole world to see. And I tell you, when I lift your name, it will not be so that others may exalt you, but so that they may see me through you. Now, my beloved, walk freely. Every false word has turned to dust. Every shadow that once surrounded you has dissolved. Your name has been rewritten in light, engraved in the heavens with my mark. And I declare to you, true honor does not come from man, but from heaven. And your name, I have inscribed it in eternity. My child, when a soul has been refined by fire, washed by tears, and restored by grace. That is when a new mission begins. No one is healed merely to live comfortably. The saved are always sent. Everything you have endured, every wound, every fall, every dark night was preparation. You did not know it, but while you were struggling to survive, heaven was preparing you to become an instrument of light. And now, I come to entrust you with a new calling. I do not only want you to survive, I want you to live with purpose. You were not forgiven merely to be free, but to bring freedom to others. You were not comforted only to rest, but to comfort those in sorrow. You were not healed just to rejoice, but to become a vessel of healing. Everything you have received from me, I now desire to flow through you into the lives of those who thirst. For I do not bless you to keep, I bless you to share. A blessing hoarded will wither, but one given away multiplies 100-fold. My child, a sweet burden has been placed within your heart, not a weight, but a gentle calling of the Holy Spirit. You will begin to feel a new stirring, a longing to help, to encourage, to bring light where there is darkness. This is not a fleeting emotion, but a true summons from heaven. And I tell you, when I place fire in your heart, it is not for you to hold in your hands, but to set the world alight. Archangel Michael stands beside you, his eyes gleaming like a blade of light. And he says, "Now a new generation is awakening, and you are part of it. I am gathering souls who have walked through the night and survived the storm, so that they may become guides for others. This is not a mission for you alone, but a divine convocation of heaven itself, a generation of light, a people unafraid of fire, for they were born from it. My child, I have placed within your hands a torch. The light you carry is not only meant to guide your own path, but also to illuminate the way for those who stumble in the shadows. Many souls are crying out for help, though they do not know whom they are calling to. Many are drowning in despair, yet they have never heard that there exists one who loves them unconditionally. I want you to become a living testimony of that love. You do not need to preach, nor to shout from the rooftops. You only need to live truthfully, live kindly, live in peace, and others will see me within you. When you speak words of encouragement to someone who has lost hope, it is I who speak through you. When you hold the hand of someone in pain, it is I who touch them through you. When you forgive those who have wounded you, all of heaven rejoices. For whenever you act in love, you become my hands, my eyes, and my heart in this world. My child, this is the greatest honor of a chosen soul, to become an instrument of the Creator's love. You will see me open new doors, not so you may be praised, but so you may reach the hearts that need you most. I will send to you those who have fallen, those who have lost faith, those who believe their story is over. They will come, not because you possess power, but because they feel safe in your presence. My light within you will make them want to live again, believe again, love again, and you will understand that your true calling is not to save the world, but to love each soul as I have loved you. Do not be afraid of not being enough. No one ever is, but I am the one who makes you sufficient. You do not need to be perfect to be used, you only need to be willing. Offer me what little you have, and I will multiply it. Offer me your time, your words, your heart, and I will turn them into rivers of blessing. Do not wait until you feel ready, for no one is ever truly ready for the work of heaven. They only need to be willing, and I will do the rest. I am not calling you to distant lands, but first to those beside you. It may be a lonely neighbor, a discouraged colleague, a child who needs to be heard, or a soul silently longing for prayer. Begin where you stand, for right there heaven has prepared your field. Light does not need a stage, it only needs to be present. Michael says to you, let your heart become a temple and your hands an altar of offering. You do not have to travel far to serve heaven. Each day you live in love, you are already working alongside me. When you are faithful in the small things, I will entrust you with greater ones. When you are thankful in the smallest details, I will open magnificent doors before you. And then, my child, there will come a time when you feel pushed beyond your comfort zone. Do not fear. Whenever I desire to expand your influence, I will stir the ground beneath your feet. Every shift is not meant to unsettle you, but to enlarge your soul. Walk by faith, for in every new place and every new opportunity, I have already placed blessings awaiting you. You will begin to sense this. Everything in your life will start to take on new meaning. Work will no longer be a burden, but a chance to sow seeds of love. Every conversation will no longer be random, but a sacred encounter. You will see me in the smallest details, in someone's smile, in a word of gratitude, in an embrace. When you realize this, you have begun to live within my divine purpose. I will plant new dreams in your heart, not dreams that bring you praise, but dreams that bring me glory. You will feel your spirit burning with a desire to transform the world around you, and that is the sign that my spirit is moving within you. Let your dreams become the instruments through which I touch more lives. Let your calling become a hymn of praise to me amid a world that has forgotten love. Remember, my child, that everything you do, no matter how small, if done in love, holds eternal value. When you speak kindly, when you pray for another, when you forgive, when you give, each act becomes a brick in the kingdom I am building through you. Never underestimate the power of gentleness, for I, the Almighty, chose to save the world not with thunder, but with a whisper of love. I know there will be times when you are weary. Days will come when you want to stop, when you question whether you are truly called. But remember this: those who are called always face moments of wanting to give up. In those moments, recall my words today. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. John 15:16. My child, your fruit is not measured by the number of people who hear you, but by the souls your life touches. One day, you will look back and realize that every trial, every tear, and every moment of silence I allowed you to endure was meant to prepare you for this very moment. For no one can lead another through the night unless they themselves have walked through it. You have walked through it. Now, become the one who takes the hands of those who are lost. I speak to you. Go forth, my chosen one. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not hesitate, for I have gone before you. Do not waver, for I have placed the Archangel Michael beside you. You are no longer a victim of the past, but a bearer of the mission of the future. You are no longer merely one who was saved, but one who is sent. And, my child, remember this: the greatest reward is not fame or glory, but the moment you witness a soul healed by the light you carry. When you see someone find faith again through your words, when you see another smile after long suffering, you will understand that you are living the true meaning of your life. Go, my beloved. The fields are golden and ripe, the world is parched and thirsty. I am seeking those who will carry the waters of mercy. You have been called, and that calling cannot be revoked. My Spirit will lead you step by step, day by day, until you have fulfilled your mission. And when that day comes, I will say to you, you have been faithful in little. I will set you over much. Come and share your Master's joy. My child, be steadfast, for the summons of heaven has come not to make you afraid, but to make you shine, not to burden you, but to let you soar, not to turn you into a hero, but to make you a servant of love. For where love abides, there am I, and where you go, my light will shine brilliantly and unending. Now, pray this prayer. Lord God, my Father, in this hour of chaos I come before you with a trembling yet trusting heart. I sense that something is unfolding around me, a plan being woven, a subtle trap awaiting my step. Please open the eyes of my soul to perceive the schemes of darkness, so that I may not be deceived by flattering lies or fooled by harmless appearances. Let your Spirit illuminate my mind, granting me the discernment to distinguish truth from deceit. And when the winds of doubt blow, keep my heart firm in faith, knowing that no power can alter the destiny you have written for me. O Lord, I know there are those who seek to rob me of peace, twisting my silence into evidence against me. Yet let me understand that silence in you is not weakness, it is the strength of a trusting soul. Teach me when to speak and when to be still. When others try to provoke my anger, help me not to fall into the trap of emotion. Place your word upon my lips, so that every response springs from love, not fear. Keep me steady amid the storm, knowing that you are writing my true story even when the world tries to distort it. Lord, clothe me with the armor of truth. When rumors arise, when false evidence is created, let your light shine through it all. Grant me serenity, for I know your divine justice does not arrive with noise but with unfailing precision. Help me not to defend myself by my own strength, but to let you act on my behalf. When I am silent, let heaven speak. When I am misunderstood, let your love be the clearest testimony. Lord, I feel surrounded by faces once familiar, but now distant. There are those I once trusted who may now be building this trap, and it breaks my heart. But please, Lord, do not let pain turn into bitterness. Teach me to forgive, even before the truth is revealed. Let me know that nothing happens outside of your permission. If this trap exists, then surely you have a higher purpose. Help me to see your intention in this darkness, so that instead of fear, I may learn deeper trust. Lord, I lay every fear and weakness at your feet. I do not understand everything that is happening, but I know one thing. You will never abandon me in battle. When I am falsely accused, when people turn away, remind me that heaven is still watching. Give me courage to keep walking, for I am not fighting alone. Your angels, especially the Archangel Michael, surround me and shield me from every plot. Grant me the wisdom to know that a hasty reaction only pulls me deeper, but a peaceful heart is the truest victory. Lord, I believe that every scheme formed against me will ultimately collapse under the weight of its own deceit. Strengthen me in faith so that nothing can shake me. When others try to bring me down, remind me that you are the one lifting me up. When they seek to harm me, let me recognize that it is only a stepping stone drawing me closer to the purpose you have ordained. I did not come to retaliate, but to bear witness that light cannot be confined. Help me to live in such a way that my kindness becomes the most powerful testimony against every falsehood. Lord, I pray that those who plot against me may come to see their error. Do not let them be consumed by their own traps without the chance to repent. I do not ask for their destruction, but for their deliverance from the darkness that blinds their souls. Turn my anger into compassion, and my pain into a testimony of forgiveness. When they bow their heads in shame, let me be ready to extend my hands, for I know that everything you do is meant to redeem, not to destroy. Lord, open before me a new door. As the old snare collapses, lead me into the land of peace. Grant me a sign of blessing. It could be a letter, a word, or simply a quiet relief within my heart. Let me understand that every loss and every injustice was only preparation for a more radiant chapter to come. Turn this story into a living witness that no one can touch a soul protected by God. Lord, restore my honor and integrity. Let others see me with fairness, not through the lens of lies. Allow those who once doubted me to witness the unfolding of your justice. Let those who mocked me bow their heads in new understanding, not so that I may be exalted, but that your name may be glorified. Let my story stand as proof that truth always prevails when you are present. Lord, in this very moment, I thank you for all that has been, all that is, and all that will be. The trap is no longer a threat, but a lesson. Betrayal is no longer a wound, but an awakening. The storm is no longer a punishment, but a test of faith? Help me to see that everything you allow is leading toward something greater. As light fills the room, let me bow in gratitude, for I know it is not by my strength but because you have always been there. And now I choose to walk in peace, carrying the faith that I have been chosen not to fall, but to prove that the love of God is the final victory. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so together we can build a strong community of faith.